Hello guys, this is Rolly Romero.
Yo, my name is Nonito Donaire.
What's up guys, Designer's Eyes.
Here with Bob Santos Boxing.
And I rock with Dr. Boxing Talk.
I want to give a quick shout out to Dr. Boxing Talk.
And I want to give a big shout out to Dr. Boxing Talk. Thank you for all the love, thank you for all the support.
You're rocking with Dr. Boxing Talk. Get your daily news from my man right here, the best in the business. Let's get it, baby.
All day, baby.
Amen.
Bam!
If I tell you I'm good, probably you'll say I'm boasting. If I tell you I'm no good, you know one line.
Yo, what's good, Boxing Talk family? Welcome back to your favorite boxing news channel, Dr. Boxing Talk. And today we're going to get straight to it. You know what I'm talking about? BTF Rise Up. Look, we have an official update from the Ring magazine, man and woman. Shakur Stevenson, the WBC 135-pound champion, will be taking on fellow American Teofimo Lopez, who's the WBO 140-pound champion, on January 31st. Now, we've been talking about this for months, so this news is nothing new. But like you know, those of you that pay attention to this channel, I've always said I've been doubtful that this fight will actually come into fruition, but I'm hopeful that it will. And this breaking news just added a little bit more hope. You know what I'm saying? So it's actually balancing out, and the hope meter is going a little higher than the doubt meter right now, because it's officially been announced, like we've been talking about. You know, it's just been heavily speculated and a lot of rumors that was going to come into fruition on January 31st, and that is the official date that is given now by the Ring. So we talked about it. In fact, I just dropped a video yesterday about a little update from Eddie Hearn. And like I said, I'm still doubtful because it's Teofimo, and you know, any fight that he's talking about having with a high caliber opponent, it usually falls apart, you know. But this time it seems like, you know, I have a lot of reason to have renewed hope that it's actually going to happen, man. So now I want to tell y'all this too. You know, there's been some people kind of being down on the fight, which I don't really think is necessary, but I have to be honest as well. You could be down on the fight because if you expect this fight to be fireworks, don't be surprised if it's not. But what this fight is representative of, it is representative of two great fighters in their primes facing off. You see what I'm saying? Like I said, Teofimo only has one blemish on his record, losing to George Kambosos, but he has a great win against Vasily Lomachenko, who just recently retired not too long ago, right? And then you have Shakur Stevenson, who's undefeated, and his best win, one of his most recent wins, probably one of his best wins, right? Williams Zepeda. I wouldn't say that's his best win. You know, you got Jamel Harry and Oscar Valdez, other guys like that. But, you know, his most notable win of late has been Williams Zepeda, who was the undisputed mandatory. Remember, he was ranked #1 in WBC, WBO, WBA, IBF, all four sanctioned bodies, and he was undefeated when Shakur dispatched of him. So this should be a good fight, man. Even though it does have the potential to be boring, it also has the potential to be a good fight as well. You know what I'm saying? But I do want to caution that it could, you know, people who are complaining about the potential boredom, they are right, because obviously both fighters have been involved in some stinkers, right? Teofimo Lopez with his fight against Jermaine Ortiz, that fight was trash.
Know your fucking place, trash.
And then his fight with Barbosa, it was the best fight on the card, on that Times Square card. But that's not saying much, because it was okay. It was an okay fight. It was just that Devin Haney versus Ramirez wasn't that good. And then Rolly Romero outside of dropping Ryan Garcia, that fight was stale too. So yeah, Teofimo versus Barbosa was the best fight on that card that night, but it still wasn't an exciting fight, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? And then of course we have Shakur Stevenson, most famously for fighting De Los Santos, and that fight being trash as well.
Know your fucking place, trash.
However, I do think that with Shakur, that people tend to over exaggerate how bad his other fights are. You know what I'm saying? Shakur Edward De Los Santos was terrible. I'm not gonna make no excuses for that. But his fight against Zepeda was good. His fight against Josh Padley, even though Padley was on late notice, that was a good fight as well, not to mention some other ones. So I do think that while it does have a potential to be boring, it also does have the potential to be good too. And like I said, at the end of the day, it still represents two great fighters in their primes going against each other. So if this fight does come into fruition, which, like I said, admittedly, I do have my doubts. I'm a little bit more hopeful now, but I still hold on to my doubts. You know, if this fight comes into fruition, I will salute both Teofimo and Shakur Stevenson, man, because this fight would be great on January 31st. And not to mention, there's a whole bunch of other fights that are talking about coming at the top of the year, man. Now, a lot of them are PBC related, so I'm not sure if they would be on the card of Shakur and Teofimo, but you never know, man. These days with Big Turk, he tends to consolidate a lot, so he might have a card that's Matchroom, PBC, and Top Rank, you know, and Queensberry and everybody. You know how that goes, man. It's like a conglomerate with him. But you know, I'm not sure who's going to be on this card. But like I said, there's a lot of fights at the top of the year that include Gary Anton Russell defended his WBA 140-pound belt against Andy Hiroka. That's going to be somewhere in January, February. You got Sebastian Fedor defended his belt against Teofimo Lopez at junior middleweight. That's going to be explored around that time as well. You got Jamal Charlo and Caleb Plant allegedly being explored for January 31st as well. You see what I'm saying? So there's a whole bunch of other fights that are making the top of 2026 look very nice, man. So I'm excited for it. So y'all let me know what y'all think about that. Do you believe that the fight's going to happen? I'm more hopeful now, but I'm not going to hold my breath. You know what I'm talking about? Appreciate y'all rocking with me as always. Don't forget to smack that like button. But most importantly, remember, with God, we can do anything. Without God, we're nothing. The doctor's out. Peace. From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets.